Happy Independence Day, everybody. It is July 4th, and I am nursing a cold, so bear with me. It's the only day I got to work on it. It's already hot as the blazes. And today, I'm going to be addressing this shade issue over here behind me, and we're going to do some spot seeding. Places like this. Look at it since last time you've seen it. That's what a little bit of rain and some good hot temperatures and some fertilizer will do. Still got some problems we're going to address today, but I'm going to start with addressing the shade issue as best I can. Now take a look back here. You see all that sunlight that's hitting those limbs right there? That is sunlight that could make it to the lawn. And in different times of the day, there's a tree limb, I don't know if you can see it over there, that gets a lot of sun and it blocks it out. And that's why it's so thin and wispy under here. I'm also going to take care of that guy. Look at all that sunlight hitting the top of him that could be going in this bald spot over here. Look at this bad boy right here. Yeah. If you can find one of those for cheap, it's a rad piece of equipment. I'm telling you. The story on this one is that my father-in-law, it fell off the back of a landscape truck of some sort. When he was riding down the road, he stopped, picked it up, flagged the guys down, told them they lost it, and they swore to him that they didn't lose anything. And he fought with them for a little while, and he just said, okay, well, fine, I'll take it to the house. Now, it was crunched pretty good. All of the cowling, all of this stuff right here was smashed on it. The carb was broke off of it. It was in bad shape. So what I did is I went to my local small engine repair store and I printed out some schematic, yeah, nailed it. Anyway, and I got all those pieces in it, ordered and installed them. I put a new carb on it and some new fuel lines, and that thing has been doing work for me ever since. The only bad thing about that thing is that it'll create, in 15 minutes, it'll create enough limbs that it'll take you forever to clean them up. I had to sit down and take a break. This cold's working on me, and when it's hot outside, you ain't got the giddy up you normally do. I'm drinking some water. Anyway, earlier in the video, I talked about how rad that pole saw was and how it makes a lot of work very quickly. So now, that big boy right there, that's more than I want to handle. I tried moving it, and it knocked the wind out of me. So, I'm gonna fire up the old Timberwolf and get after it and get it out of the way. Alright, look how much less shade I have now. I still got a little bit back there, but it's so much better. That's what you do, is try to get them limbs cut down and maximize your sunlight in those areas. Now it's about 3 o'clock right now, so at any time now, that right there is going to get hit with the sun too. Hopefully it'll be enough. You got to think, when you cut down limbs like that, 1 hour more of sunlight in any given spot may be the difference between thin and wispy and nice and thick. All right, now to the meat and potatoes of this video. Doing some spot seeding. So, got a spot like this. You got to think. You can't go in there and blast Roundup. You can't go in there with a tiller and mess everything, because you'll mess up what little bit of zoysia you have in there. So what you want to do is grab a hoe, and not that girl you dated in college. A hoe. See, I got some little stuff in here. You can see where I've been screwing around, but you kind of want to do like if you had a garden. Look at that guy right there. Just kind of, I'm doing this one-handed. There you go. Look at that guy. Bye. Look, that's called purslane right there, if anybody was wondering. This right here, I don't know what it's called. Well, see, I'm about to mess up a stolen. Just get in here. That thing looks like an aquarium plant. I don't know what it is, but 2,4-D smokes it. And then gently act like you got a garden and knock some of this mess out of the ground. And if you're wondering, why didn't I just spray some kind of a selective herbicide in there to take that stuff out? Well, if I'd have done that a while back, maybe I'd be good, but you don't want to compromise. You don't have anything in that soil that'll compromise your seeds coming up. And stuff like three-way and all that, sulfentrazone, anything you would use to kill what's in there selectively could compromise your seed, because it hangs out. You know, every chemical has a reseed interval on it, every one of them. And the only thing that I can spray out here right now and not hurt anything is quinclorac, and quinclorac smokes the mess out of crabgrass. But I really don't have any crabgrass. It's all purslane and that little thing you saw just a minute ago, and some other little nonsense that whatever chemicals you use to kill it could mess your seed up. So that's why we're using the hoe. The next part of this poorly edited documentary, we've got to scalp down the existing zoysia. We'll not scalp it to the dirt like you would with a reset scalp, but we're going to bring it down some and get it back to comfortable rear mower height. You don't want to cut zoysia seedlings with a rotary lawnmower. Also, I'm going to put on the bagger for just that spot and that spot over there. All them weeds that I disrupted with the hoe will get sucked up in that bagger. And I didn't get all the weeds out of there. I just got most of them. You're just trying to create some real estate for your seeds to flourish. You're going to have weeds until you get ready to spray them. Just the way it is. Oh, I had to go back in the house for a little bit. It's later in the day. Look at where the sun's at now. That's what I'm talking about. It gets that shot of afternoon sun. Where am I at here? I scalped that, then decided I didn't want to scalp it that low where I'm not seeding, and so I mowed it like this. That scalped. That scalped. What I've been doing now is taking one of these guys right here, and check it out. Right now, just been roughing up spots so it'll hold the seed, and then even up on this hill. All the way down, anywhere that I want the seed to stick is where I'm roughing it up. See, look right here. This is a balder spot. Feel like I'm gardening in between my crops. There it is. 2 more pounds. To all my Wilmington peeps. They sell this at Farmer Supply. The lady keeps some in stock. It's a little bit more expensive than it would be online, but you can have it today. As in, you just drive up there and she'll put it in your hand and you pay for it. All right, I got seed in there. I'm on a setting 6 for now. Let's go spread some zoysia seed on some spots. has been spread. Look at them. Kind of went a little heavy. You see all of them in my footprint right there? Look, I'm gonna mash them down a little bit. I spread all over there. I got this spot right here and all in here. All the way up here. So if you watched the original seeding video where I seeded all this, I used a drum that was half filled with water to roll that stuff in. I'm going a different route this time. That's effective, by the way. That roller is great, especially after you've tilled everything up. But now, you know, I just used that little garden weasel to go out there and scuff up the ground in the spots where I'm seeding. This time I'm using peat moss. There's a couple areas over there that could really use some organic material, if you will. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my peat moss and put it down and get really nasty, if I'm not already nasty enough. Ooh. You get peat moss. And you get peat moss. And you get peat moss. Just trying to get a thin coat over this seeded area here. And one of the rad things about peat moss is that when it's dry, it shows it. It looks like this. When it's moist, I know some people hate that word. When it's got water in it, it's darker than this. So it's a good visual indicator of what's going on.
1 week later.
All right, I'm back. 1 week later. I'm still trying to get over this cold. After that last clip, I got that peat moss out. I went in and took a nap, and I've been sick all week. But look, I got some germination. Look at that guy right there. And a couple more right here and there. Look at there. Now, let's talk about what I sprayed last week before I put the seed down. I didn't get to that part last week. So I made up a mixture and I sprayed it 2 nights before I put that down. And it was RGS, that Green County stuff, which is sea kelp and humic acid. I also put down Cyanor bug control, 9.7, and I tank mixed some propiconazole. The reason why I sprayed propiconazole is because when you are trying to bust seeds, you're going to be watering a lot and you don't want your existing grass to get too wet and develop a fungus issue. So I kind of hedged that problem by spraying that. That's something to consider if you're spot seeding like this. And now I've had people ask me on that first video, I've gotten emails and comments, they asked me how much they should water. And you know, that depends. Keep your soil moist. My soil dries out quick, so I'm doing 4 times a day. It's like 7 in the morning, 11, I'd have to go look at it, but they're spaced out throughout the day. You just kind of want to keep it moist. You don't have to water at night because that last watering you do at like 6, 7 o'clock at night, it'll stay damp the rest of the night until the morning. You may not have to water as much. Just as long as you keep those seeds moist, they will germinate. Now, as far as fertilization goes, I'm not doing anything extra in this case. Anybody who's been following along, I've been pushing this thing with that 15015 throughout, trying to get the other stuff to fill in, and I'm just gonna keep doing that. And as that comes up, it'll join in with the party with its older cousins here, brothers, and take right off with it. I get that question a lot too. What kind of fertilizer I should use? I have said in the past, I'll say it again, you probably should go get a soil test. If you didn't go get a soil test and you want to put something out with your zoysia seed, go with a 1-1-1 ratio fertilizer. So a 10-10-10, 8-8-8, 12-12-12. Just don't keep using that. Eventually, go ahead and get your soil test. And then fertilize off of what that soil test tells you to fertilize. My next video in relation to this project, the zoysia seeding project, picked up some of these bad boys. Look at that. I'm gonna try to propagate some of my own plugs off of sprigs from other types of zoysia. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and like this video, and that should be coming out sometime soon. Hope you enjoyed this. Maybe you got some ideas. All that being said, thanks for watching. Come back and see you.